XENITES!
What's up?
It's the Babbling Bards. We're what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are.
I know. Since like 9 o'clock this morning.
Well, me. You
No,
were,
I've
you were
been
still
awake since
snoozing.
9 o'clock. You were in the other room.
Yeah.
I woke up all by myself. I felt like a really bad country song.
You were snoozing.
It was stupid.
Okay.
I fell asleep at like 4:30 this morning.
Uh-huh.
And then I woke up when you got up to get the kids ready. And then I fell back asleep. And these guys don't care about when I wake up. So,
Anyways,
I'm Trista.
I'm Liliana.
And we run things a little differently here.
Little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We don't have time for goofing off and
No.
talking about sleep and
Not at all.
who's sleeping with who, unless it's Xena and Gabrielle.
We're very on track here.
On track.
We never hop off the track every now and then. We're straight ahead, right?
Honey, we were born off the track. There's not even any playing, guys. So, try as we might, we give you guys a play-by-play, a rundown of the episode.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. Fun facts. Little-known facts.
And come on, you know this one. What is it?
Subtext.
Dun dun dun.
I flunked subtext in school.
Did you?
I did. The only reason I succeed is because you have given it to me as an assignment, and I, researched 203 different subtext sources.
And you do it so well.
That's up for debate.
No, you do. So today's episode ties that bind.
Is one major oopsie.
Okay. A little bit of subtext, not much.
Not a lot of subtext at all.
Couple little snatches.
It's like minuscule.
Yeah.
Compared to the next episode when we have a nice chunk.
Uh-huh.
The greater good.
Greater good. Oh, I like the greater good.
I know. Greater good was actually the last episode to be filmed in season 1. It was going to originally air as the last episode of the season, but
It didn't.
things change.
Yep. Anyways.
Yes.
Ties that bind.
Onward.
Ties that
Ties
bind.
that bind is one giant oopsie.
Why is it an oopsie?
Why? You're asking me why?
Yes.
Now I can talk?
Yes.
Okay. So, Xena's father.
Or is he?
Xena's father.
Okay.
Atreus in
Yes.
this episode, correct? And we all know that, Atreus is actually Ares in disguise.
Kevin Smith. He's back.
I like Kevin Smith.
Me too.
He has a nice chest. But Atreus, Xena's father's name isn't consistent in any of the Xena series. In Haunting of Amphipolis, Cyrene calls him Orestes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the comics, which, aren't necessarily in canon, but some people believe they're in canon.
Uh-huh.
Some people believe they're not. But her father's referred to as Nilo.
Huh.
And Nilo is only the father of Xena and Lycius. Taurus has an entirely different father. Taurus is only Xena's half-brother.
I thought Lycius was.
No, it's Taurus. I checked my sources
Okay.
after we were talking.
Yeah, because that's what you had said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I checked. I got it mixed up in my head. It was the other way around.
All right.
Because, in Plowshares into Swords, I think was the name of the comic. But Xena and Lycius share Nilo as a father. And Atreus / Orestes is the father that they grow up with as children, but Taurus was older and had a different father.
Well, okay then.
Yeah.
So a bit of genealogy
Yeah.
lesson there.
Genealogy and an oopsie all in one.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Pushing boundaries. Breaking glass ceilings.
Yes.
And blasting out walls. Okay, so, ties that bind.
Yeah. So
we
we have
open with Charillus
and Ares.
and Ares.
Uh-huh.
Charillus is the warlord of the week. He's the WoW.
The WoW. Oh, Warlord of Week. Okay.
There you go.
I got it.
World of Warcraft, my ass. It's warlord of the week. Of the is one word.
Okay. All right.
You're from the south. Yay.
Yeah. Well, this Charillus,
Charillus.
he's all fired up that he's going to be the one to.
He's not a very attractive man.
No, but he's thinking that he's the one that's going to lead Ares' great army.
Mm-hmm.
But Ares tells him that
Now, this is after Charillus has already captured the slaves from Losha.
The girls, yeah. Yeah. But, and Ares says that someone else is gonna take command. Is that what he says?
Take command of his army, yeah.
Take command. And then Coryllis is pretty much like, nobody can lead this army better than I can. And then Ares makes the comment.
Ares says that he found his replacement.
And
then Ares makes the comment, or Coryllis says, I'm the best man for the job, and Ares says, sometimes the best man for a job is a woman.
And then Coryllis automatically knows that it's Xena. So, yeah.
And Ares laughs, and he does that weird shimmer thing, where he fades out.
Yeah.
Now, this episode and The Reckoning, which is the other episode that Ares is featured in, are the only 2 episodes where Ares shimmers.
Yeah.
After that, the visual effects got a little better, and then he disappeared into a giant, brilliant purple ball of purple ball of light. Yeah.
Purple ball.
You started talking, and then I got confused. And my mind's not wired for that.
Okay.
So, then we flash over to Xena and Gabrielle.
Yeah.
Yay!
Woohoo! Sorry. Proceed.
I think you want to proceed. Go ahead. You got all woohoo.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Xena and Gabrielle.
Mm-hmm.
They noticed that the girls, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And Gabrielle's like, well, that explains why I was hearing, help.
Yeah. And then they notice this guy coming out of the woods, I guess. And,
he jumps into the fray.
Yes.
And he starts hacking and slashing at the soldiers.
Yeah.
And Xena's like,
he's gonna get himself killed.
Yeah. Because Xena's the only person that can fight, 40 men at a time.
Right.
And live to tell about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So Atreus, which is the one that popped out, is, I've come here to free the girls. And then a fight ensues. Xena pops in, defeats him. So then Xena tends to his wound.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Gabrielle comes out. Xena! Is he alright? And he's like, Xena?
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, hold the phone.
And Xena's like, do I know you?
It's like, well, you should.
I am your father.
Very nicely done. We should take our act on the road.
We're not geeks at all.
No. Gabrielle, Xena just stands there when he says that. Gabrielle's the one excuse me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah. Xena was pretty much, don't believe everything you hear. Because she didn't believe him.
Probably because her daddy's name is Nilo, not Atreus.
I don't know. And then they start to walk away, and he's like,
don't you walk away from me.
Yeah.
And then she just stops.
Like, what did you say? But, I mean...
And she keeps walking. She tells him to keep his arm elevated.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle's like, is he your father? And she's all, give me a break.
Yeah.
Xena be like, bitch, please.
Yes.
She wouldn't call Gabrielle a bitch.
No.
She'd be all, bitch, please.
Anyways. And then they go to rescue the girls.
Uh-huh.
And Gabrielle's got some mad lock picking skills.
Yes. She does. Gabrielle has many skills as well. It's not just Xena.
Yeah.
I don't think, because she picked a frickin' lock with a scimitar, which is the type of knife she was using.
Yeah.
She snatched Ares' ring right off of his hand.
Autolycus.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I said Ares, huh?
You did.
I'm sorry. Autolycus' ring right off of his hand in Royal Couple of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
Without him even noticing.
Yeah.
What do they teach those people in Potadia? Other than to vegetate till they die.
I don't know.
I don't either. Huh. Okay, continue on.
Alrighty. So, she frees the girls.
Yes.
And they all, run away except for this one who decides to run in the opposite direction.
Rhea.
So, Gabrielle's like, where the fuck is she going? Oh my god! Okay, so she runs after her, obviously, because, hey, you're going the wrong way. The herd's going that way. There's always one that separates from the herd. Every time. I'm sorry.
She grew up on a dairy. For those of you that have never listened to the podcast before, Liliana grew up on a dairy.
There's always one that separates from the herd.
You know, back in the day, back in ancient times,
Yeah.
like with shepherds and stuff,
Uh-huh.
if one sheep would run off,
Yeah.
they would break the sheep's legs,
How?
like the back two legs, and carry the sheep over their shoulders. That's why they have the pictures of the shepherds carrying the sheep over their shoulders.
Well, that's not very nice.
They'd break their legs so it would teach them not to run away again.
Well, yeah, because they wouldn't be able to, because broken legs.
That's freaking mean.
That is kind of brutal there.
I have zero respect for people like that.
That's not cool.
No.
No.
So there may always be one that runs away and runs in the opposite direction, but don't break their legs.
No.
Gabrielle did not break Rhea's legs. No.
No,
she didn't.
Did not.
She's all, hey, hold up. Wait a minute. And then a soldier popped out.
Right. Yeah.
And then Atreus comes to the rescue.
Yeah. Kicks his butt.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then here comes Xena. And then she's just like, looks at him like, I don't even know. Just like, yeah, okay, whatever. Doesn't even really acknowledge him. And turns around.
No, but this scene here does give us our first little bit of subtext for the episode. Little minuscule bit of subtext for the episode.
Yeah.
Because
as they're walking away, he calls to her.
Because he suggested that they get a second horse to
Yeah.
travel faster.
Yeah.
And the second horse is going to come in to a pretty important piece
Yeah.
here in a few minutes. That's the only reason I popped in the second horse. But he offers to get a second horse to Xena, and she's like, no thanks.
Yeah.
And he says, well, what does it take to win you?
He said that he already has, because he saved Gabrielle.
So you saved my friend, so,
Right.
you know, you already have.
Nice meeting you. Now, so long.
So you gonna ride off?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because I'm your...
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Oh, she was pissed when she said that.
She was.
Ooh. Yeah. She's not too happy about that.
She's not. Xena got daddy issues.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
Because, I mean, which she doesn't know yet, but her father's not even alive.
Uh-huh.
Which she won't know until the episode The Furies.
The Furies. Hey, I win! Sorry. I'm sorry.
You're adorkable.
I like the Furies episode.
I do too. It's one of my favorites. But we're not there yet.
I know.
We gotta stay on track, Liliana. Oh my gosh.
Here we go, jumping off the track again. Okay, anyway, back to...
We don't just jump off the track. Have you ever noticed that? We like parkour off the track. We act like freaking Amazons. We just climb on up the trees and then we run over the treetops everywhere but the path. And then eventually we'll drop back down on the path.
It's so much funner that way.
It's just, I don't know how easy...
It's the scenic route.
I don't know how easily people can keep up with our train of thought when we're that way.
We're on the scenic route. It's okay.
We live on the scenic route.
Anyways.
So we're back with Coryllis.
Coryllis and Ares.
Actually, first off, we see a fellow shooting with a blow dart, a butterfly that's not even indigenous to the area. So that's an oopsie.
Yeah.
Type of butterfly that Tarkus, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Ares and Coryllis are like talking, and Ares is pretty much telling him that, you know, Xena's here to take command of your army.
And he'll never take orders from Xena.
And Ares is all like, well, you won't have to because you'll be dead.
Yep.
Coryllis gets pissed.
Mm-hmm. And that's when he decides to enlist Tarkus's help.
Right.
Tarkus is the blow dart dude.
Yeah. Shot the butterfly with a blow dart. Poor butterfly, jeez.
Butterfly didn't even belong to that area.
No.
Isn't even anywhere in the area of Greece. Nowhere. At all.
No.
Mm-mm. See, stuff like that bugs me.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for anybody being shot with a blow dart. Blow darts, if you guys don't know much about those, know that when you are shooting one, the first thing they'll tell you when they're instructing you on how to shoot one is to be careful how much you inhale to blow out. Because it's very easy. Like, the one that Tarkus is using is freaking huge.
Yeah.
Well, blow darts aren't really that big. They're kind of small. And it's easy to suck them down your throat. Mm-hmm. Like when you're... before you exhale it. And it's not a pleasant sensation from... I have a friend of mine that sucked one down their throat.
Ow.
And it, like, ripped the top part. I mean, he's okay, but it ripped, like, the top part of his... He couldn't speak for a while.
I'll bet.
Yeah, it was
Ow.
It was rough. So anyway.
Yeah.
Coryllis gives Tarkus the assignment that he's going to kill Xena.
Right.
And Tarkus is all, terrible, terrible teeth. Grinning in the camera, he's like, Xena.
Yeah. And then we have Gabrielle and Rhea having a little chit-chat. And, Rhea's just like, oh, I don't want to go back. I can't go back. And,
for the stupidest reason.
Yeah. So, apparently, when they came to get the girls, she volunteered to go with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think right here does she, mentions why until later.
She doesn't.
So, she just yeah.
So now, I guess this part the way that she explains it, I can see why she feels shame. If, all they know is she volunteered to go. They came looking for slaves. And back in those times, men coming to look for female slaves didn't bode well for females.
Right.
Especially with a warlord, Because bad things happened.
Yeah.
Back then, I mean, not that bad things don't still happen. They do every day.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump, Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
shit fucking happens.
It does. So, yeah.
And by Puerto Rico, I mean the devastation in Puerto Rico right now, not the people of Puerto Rico or the country.
No.
Well, it actually belongs to the U.S., but,
right.
The Republicans don't know that.
Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. They are American citizens. So, yeah. It irritates me when some people think that, they're not citizens, they're not part of the U.S. History lesson, people. Puerto Rico is part of the United States.
Crack a book!
Yeah. But anyway, we won't get into that. So, anyways.
It's okay. Trump's going to take his toupee over there next week, and,
he can just go golf or something. Anyway.
Go to Mar-a-Lago.
That's what he does best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways.
That and fire people. No love lost here! Okay!
No. Anyways, so, now we have the group of girls bathing in the water.
And Xena's humming.
She'd be like, are they, almost ready?
When Gabrielle walks up, she's like...
Yeah?
She's just like, can we leave now?
Yeah. And then Gabrielle is, wondering where Atreus is.
Xena doesn't know.
She doesn't know. Don't think she really cares. She just wants the girls to hurry up and bathe so they can go. Okay. And then...
We got, a little insight from Gabrielle, and it all depends on how much you read into her part here.
Okay.
Because she's asked in one episode, which when we get there, we'll go over it. But she's asked if she had a good father.
Right.
Well, Herodotus doesn't necessarily strike you as somebody that's an overly affectionate father.
Right.
But I mean, because he gives off the vibe, we've talked about it before, he gives off the vibe that, women are meant to be seen, not heard, and...
Hush, daughter.
Hush, daughter. Daughter, hush.
Daughter, hush. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used that on my daughter before.
I know.
Daughter, hush. Anyway.
Especially when she's whining, because she's 16 years old, and everybody knows that, everything with a 16-year-old girl is the end of the world.
End of the world.
I mean, somebody dyed their hair brown, and they used to be blonde. It's the end of the world. Some character she died on a TV show. It's the end of the world. Well, you know what? I suffered through Xena and had no clue what was coming, so... I have lived through Xena dying. I have lived through Tara dying on Buffy. I have lived through Joyce dying on Buffy.
Yeah.
I lived through Anya dying on Buffy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I lived through Mark Sloan dying on Grey's
That's
Anatomy.
what I was thinking, too.
I lived through Lexi dying
Lexi.
on... I lived on them ripping Calliope from Grey's Anatomy. Away from Arizona. I named my car after Arizona and Calliope.
Did you?
I called it Calizona. That was my car's name before I moved out here and got rid of it.
That's awesome.
But, I mean, you survive.
Yeah.
But 16-year-old girls, they don't know that.
No.
You know, they see what's in front of them, not the big picture. That's why they're 16. They're not adults.
No.
But anyway, you get kind of a glimpse here from Gabrielle, you know, because she makes the comment to Xena, it must have been hard growing up without a father.
Right.
So regardless of how we see Herodotus, you know, in the show, and I don't like Herodotus.
No.
He rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess from the way that Gabrielle said, she's like, it must have been hard growing up without a father. You can tell that she, you know, she can't even fathom it.
Yeah.
Which gives a little hint of, you know, the way that he was when she was growing up must have been entirely different than what we see on the screen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think about that when that scene rolls around because she gets like this wistful look on her face, like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she misses Daddy. Maybe it was making her miss Dad.
Probably.
Because we also have a recurring theme of family in this episode, which we'll tie into at the end.
Okay.
But anyway.
Alrighty. But yeah, and then...
Xena explains to her that Atreus left when she was little.
Yeah, and then she tells Gabrielle about what she remembers when she was little, you know, was him scooping her up onto, you know, the back of the horse when he came trotting along.
And she said that he would run the horse like full speed past her, and she'd just stand there and scoop her up.
And he'd scoop her up behind her, or behind him. Sorry. But yeah.
And she thought he was the greatest man in the world. And then we see this greatest man in the world
being
chased.
Being chased by some warriors.
We were calling him horse thieves.
Yeah. Call him a horse thief.
Turn around and fight like a man.
Yeah. So then, it was two guys with a crossbow? With crossbow?
Yeah, two guys with a crossbow. Now, explain this to me. Because in one of the later scenes, Liliana had pointed out because Xena tells Gabrielle that she swings a mean pitchfork. Well, the pitchfork, if you look at it, is like one piece of wood going down and then two prongs on the end. And Liliana's like, that doesn't look like a pitchfork. Well, Liliana grew up in a dairy. She knows what a pitchfork is. Yes, it is.
Huh?
I said it is towards the end.
I
know.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
You see what I mean? We jump around.
I was like, wait a minute.
And then we confuse each other.
Uh-huh.
But we eventually get back on the same path.
Alright, go ahead.
You made me lose my train of thought.
Pitchfork.
So Liliana's like, that doesn't look like a pitchfork. I said, it's ancient Greece. It's what they could make. It's a pitchfork. So you explain to me how they can't make a fucking pitchfork, but they can make a trigger action crossbow?
Two of them.
And Joxer carries one. Before Gabrielle breaks it. You explain that one to me. They can't make a pitchfork, but they can make a bolt action crossbow.
I don't know. Different manufacturers.
Maybe. You know what?
Yeah.
The crossbow probably came from Chin.
Probably
came from Chin. And the pitchfork was clearly American made.
Yeah. But anyways.
So.
Oh, jeez. Anyways.
Yes.
So, Atreus is pretty much, hey, we need another horse, and Xena automatically assumes that, you stole it.
Oh, so you stole it.
Yeah. And,
he's like, no, I won it a while back.
Yeah,
I went to get it, and she's like, well, I'm going to check your story out.
Yeah. It's like the stable owners owed me. So, he was just collecting. But, yeah. So,
she goes back, she finds the dudes.
Yeah.
And his story checks out.
Right.
And so, Gabrielle, then we get a little joke for the episode. There's not that much humor in this episode.
No.
And I think that's which I don't rate this episode very highly. I give it like a 2.5 to a 3 chakram.
Yeah, I'd
If
give it
that.
like a 3. Yeah.
Because I like the dramatic ones, but I'm a sucker for comedy.
For comedy.
And I'm an even bigger sucker for musicals.
Yeah, we like the musicals. But anyway, so, Gabrielle's asking her where she went, and Xena said...
Xena says, seeing a man about a horse.
And Gabrielle assumes that, oh, yeah, he stole it, didn't he?
Well, she says it like she's trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like she really wants to.
Yeah.
She's like, he stole it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like she doesn't want to hear that he did, but at the same time she's got the sinking feeling that he did, and it's going to let Xena down and this and that.
Yeah.
But
he didn't.
Like, nope.
Story checked out.
So she asked Gabrielle asked Xena again, is he your father?
Yeah.
And Xena tells her, all I know is he didn't lie about the horse.
He didn't lie about the horse, yeah. And then we have Rhea and Gabrielle again. Mm-hmm. Having another little chit-chat. And I believe this is where Rhea says what happened.
Yeah.
So, the reason why she volunteered herself was because of her sister.
Aralisa.
What?
Aralisa.
Aralisa.
That's her sister's name.
Okay.
Her sister was about to get married.
Right.
And from Rhea's point of view, she had her entire life ahead of her. So Rhea volunteered as tribute.
So she pulled a Katniss.
Katniss Everdeen.
I volunteer as tribute. So yeah, that's pretty much what she did. In order to protect her sister, she volunteered to go in her place. So, but yeah. And because of that, she thinks that they're going to be ashamed of her. That's why she doesn't want to return. Which I don't understand.
I don't either. I halfway wonder if that was something that I looked everywhere to find an original script for this episode.
Uh-huh.
I found 6 original scripts, 6 different versions, and none of them were accurate.
Wow.
At all. None of them had even a portion
Uh-huh.
of the things for this scene. So I don't know if it's just not one that had one on what they call on deck.
Uh-huh.
Where they showed. I'm sure it's archived somewhere, but nobody's uploaded
Okay.
an accurate one. I think for the most part what I've seen has just been like viewers doing transcripts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I
have some scripts. I should pull them out. I don't know which ones I have.
You got Sins of the Past.
I think I have Prometheus too, but I'm not sure. I think I got like 3 or 4 of them.
You don't have the Bittersweet.
No, I do not. I'd love to get my hands on one of those.
My heart is hurting beyond words.
Pain is tearing up your soul.
Yes. If only you had the Bittersweet.
I'll have to look for that.
Our chakram would be complete.
Anyways.
Okay, so.
But yeah.
Yeah?
So that's why she doesn't want to return, because she thinks everyone's going to be like ashamed of her for doing that, which I don't understand. I mean, you're protecting your sister. You can't be ashamed of that.
Right. That's why I say I almost wonder if it was something in the original script that was brought up and then it was changed and there's still
possibly
something left, some residuals left in the shooting script.
Yeah. No.
Because that just has never made sense to me.
But anywho. So then we're back to Atreus and Xena. Atreus is humming. Isn't he humming the same thing Xena was humming earlier?
Which had to be like a regional song, because usually when we hear Xena hum or whistle or anything like that, she's humming the Xena theme song.
Yeah.
But this is one where she's, it's something that we don't hear anywhere else except for this episode.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it was something that was like passed down within her family, just family to family. I don't know.
But then he tells her about, the time when she was little, and he scooped her up behind him on the horse, trying to win some daddy points here, I'm guessing.
No, he did that before. He did that before he was humming.
Uh-huh.
He did that almost right after she told Gabrielle.
Okay.
About that.
Anyway.
Because he tells her almost right after, when they're arguing about, when he tells her that, when she tells him he's going to have to, that she'll check out the story about him stealing the horse.
Yeah.
Do you not trust me? You used to trust me with your life. Do you not remember when you were a little girl and I'd come riding along and swoop you up behind me on the horse?
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
You
trusted me then with your life.
That's right.
But this one, this is where he tells her she's stubborn, just like her mother.
Like her mother, and she says, strong. Mm-hmm. That her mom was strong.
I was like, yeah, maybe that's what I mean.
Okay, yeah, that's right. And then, Xena with her spidey senses knows something's up, and then...
No, she doesn't. There's a dart that goes whizzing by past her, or past
well,
the head, and she
yeah.
catches it.
Well, yeah, but she tells, everybody to take cover, and then...
After she catches the dart.
Is it after she catches it?
It's after she catches the dart.
Okay, I don't remember.
She'd be all, take cover!
Yeah. So she catches it, big old dart, and then, what was it, Tarkus? Is about to go...
To blow another one.
one. And
Xena pops up right in front of him and blows it back in his throat.
Blows back in his throat, yeah. Ooh. He tells him to go tell Coryllis that, she's not that easy to kill.
And then she turns to walk away.
Yeah.
She walks off, and Atreus pulls the... And we don't know Atreus' Ares yet.
Right.
But he pulls the, you tried to kill my little girl?
Yeah. And he's like, please, don't kill me. He's surrendering, And you can clearly see that he doesn't have any weapons on him other than...
We can see that. The viewer can see that on screen.
You can see that he doesn't, because Xena took his little blowpipe thingy and broke it. Whatever the heck that was. The dart blower.
And Gabrielle is just horrified that he kills him anyway.
Yeah.
When he's surrendering.
Yeah.
Like you can see on her face, she's just like... Because Xena, it hasn't matter how far out Xena's gone at this point. If someone was surrendering, Xena hasn't killed them.
No.
So Gabrielle's used to a warrior that works with a code of honor.
Right.
And this has no honor attached to it at all.
No.
He kills him, and it looks like in cold blood.
Yeah.
And then Xena comes up, and she sees Gabrielle's face, and she's like, what happened?
Oh, he killed him.
She said he was surrendering.
He was surrendering.
And Atreus killed him.
He killed him. And Atreus is just like, it was self-defense. Well, he's, wiped blood off his dagger. Or sword, not dagger. And...
Why did they wipe blood off the swords?
Huh?
Why did they wipe blood off their swords?
I know this. I know, that's
why I'm asking you.
I can't remember, but I know it. Go ahead. Refresh me.
Refresh your memory?
Yes.
Because blood is primarily composed of iron.
Yeah.
Iron equals rust.
Rust. Okay.
So too much iron left on a blade would have rusted the blade.
It. Yeah. But yeah, he's, it was self-defense. He had a dagger. He was going to kill me.
And he tells him, see
don't
for
believe
yourself.
Me? See for yourself. Xena kicks him over, and magically there's a dagger.
And then Gabrielle, who's very attentive, she pays attention to everything because remember, she's a bard.
She pays attention to the details.
She pays attention to every single detail.
Yeah.
Because she's a bard.
Right.
Bards use that to be able to get their stories accurate. So she's trained to pay attention to all of it. Well, she didn't see the dagger.
No.
And Xena just tells her, everyone makes mistakes, including me.
Yeah.
And then we have a talk between Atreus and Gabrielle where it looks like Atreus is really trying to get into her head.
Yeah. Oh.
And he tells her, he says, I can see that you and Xena are a team, Gabrielle.
Right.
So after this, don't worry, I'm not going to try and come between you. I'll be moving on.
Yeah.
And she's like, you won't be coming between us. You're her father.
You're her father. Yeah.
And then she has a very reflective talk with Rhea. Because she tells Rhea, she's like, you left your sister because it was the right thing to do. And Rhea's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she should have been with her husband.
Right. And then we have Gabrielle coming up to Xena and her telling her that, hey, I'll go ahead, and take the girls back to Losha.
Yeah.
And then, that Xena knows something's up.
Because at this point, we've been through the prodigal.
Yeah.
And the prodigal's the first time that we really see how Gabrielle reacts when something's not right.
Uh-huh.
Well, Xena's now picked up on that. Because Gabrielle's already left her one time. She don't want Gabrielle to leave her again.
No.
Because even in death, Xena will never leave Gabrielle.
No. So, she asked, what's going on, Gabrielle? She knows something's up.
Mm-hmm.
But, nothing. I'll just, see you soon. And then...
she's like, okay, see you soon.
Mm-hmm.
And she says it very pointedly. If you watch her facial expression.
Yeah.
Well, then after, after they've parted ways and Xena walks off, Gabrielle says, goodbye, Xena.
Yeah.
And she says it to herself, where Xena can't hear it, but...
Yeah. And then we have, a few scenes here of, Gabrielle and the girls on their way back to...
And then we have some of Coryllis' men that are, take your points, and...
Yeah. So, and then Xena and Atreus having another little chit-chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
And Atreus tells Xena that he needs to go to Losha because he's hurt the people of Losha. Because Xena's put that... Now, this is what you and I were talking about the other day. I don't understand how Xena didn't know that it was Ares. Because she saw Ares in the Reckoning. Atreus uses Ares' sword.
Yeah.
And then during the fight sequence in this scene, Atreus turns the other warrior to Xena so Xena can put the pinch on
him.
So it's like, she has to know something's up because she learned the pinch from Malila. We learned that in the episode Destiny. And her father left when she was younger, so there is no way that her father would have known that she was capable of putting the pinch on.
Right.
So that's always bugged me. Whereas Ares would have. I mean, Ares would have known. She should have known something was up, but it was like the lights were on in the mall, but nobody was shopping.
Nobody's there.
So the soldier tells her that they're heading to Losha.
Yeah.
So Xena's first thought is, of course, Gabrielle.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the girl.
Right.
But
she doesn't want Atreus to go. But then that's when he tells her, that he's got some stuff to make up for in Losha. So, and she's pretty much, okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the village leader is already, trying to get him to mobilize the militia. And have you noticed that the village leader in Losha and the village leader in Amphipolis dress the same way?
They look the same.
And they look similar. It's not the same man, not by a long shot.
No, they look similar, but they got the same, scruffy,
scruffy
beard,
little beard and the little turbans on their head.
Yeah, they dress alike.
And even the colors are similar on the things that they wear.
But okay, and then Gabrielle with the girls.
Yeah, Gabrielle takes them in. Rhea sees her sister and her fiance are like super ecstatic to see her. And she's like, "You're not ashamed of me?" And they're like, "No, why would we be?" Right. Which is exactly what we were thinking when we were watching the thing. No, why would they be?
Yeah.
Sacrifice yourself so they can have a life. Psst.
Right.
Anyway.
So, I mean, they were grateful.
Right.
They weren't ashamed. Which is what she was afraid of, Yeah. But, no, all is good.
Yeah. And Rhea turns to Gabrielle. She's like, "Well, what can I say to you?" And Gabrielle said, "Say nothing. Just know you did the right thing."
Yeah.
And Gabrielle still has this sad smile on her face because now she knows she's going on without Xena.
Yeah.
Because in her mind, that's the right thing.
Right. Then we got Coryllis and Ares.
We have what I would call a continuity error right here.
Yes.
Because at this point in time, Atreus and Xena are riding towards Losha together.
Right.
And we see in a far-off shot, they're riding side by side. He's not a few steps back or forward. They're riding side by side.
Yeah.
Well, during this time,
Ares pops in
with Coryllis. Well, Ares is Atreus, so it's like, did he summon a pod person? I mean, he's a god, but I don't think he can be in two places at one time.
Maybe Atreus had to use the little boy's room and he went off for a little bit and then... Yeah?
On your way into battle?
Yeah?
You don't stop and pee, you just go in your pants and go on. But no, I don't... So
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. But I would call this a continuity error.
Yeah. So Coryllis is all, all pumped up because, he thinks he's got Xena trapped.
Xena won't live to see another day.
Yeah, he's going to dispose of her and this and that. And Ares is just like, you're all dressed up and no one to kill.
And he tells Coryllis, he's like, if you're going to kill Xena, you got to leave your tent.
Yeah, you can't do it standing around.
And then in the meantime, Xena and Atreus have made it to Losha.
Uh-huh.
And Xena's telling the head villager, hey, there's danger coming your way.
Right. And then he notices Atreus.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Hey, I know you. You're Atreus, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then they seize him.
Got the villagers behind him, seizing him.
Mm-hmm. And Xena makes a deal with him. He's like, look, if I stop the invading army, will you let him go?
Yeah.
And the guy laughs at her. He's like, you stop an army?
Impossible. Watch me.
I have many skills. So the second time we hear Xena say, I have many skills.
Yeah.
And we have...
Coryllis and
Xena. They're on horseback.
Uh-huh.
And they're talking. And Coryllis is like, no weapons. So he throws his sword down. Xena throws her sword down.
Throws hers.
And he still has a dagger on him.
Uh-huh.
So he goes to chunk the dagger at her. She catches it.
Yeah.
Because, Xena.
Xena, yeah.
And she's like, well, pretty much, I can't remember how, not very sporting.
Right.
She says, not very sporting, Coryllis.
Yeah.
So, she jumps off of Argo.
Mm-hmm. Oopsie.
There's an oopsie. I showed Liliana this when we watched the episode because she didn't catch it.
Can't believe I missed that.
But she jumps off of Argo,
and
her chakram unclips from her hip and rolls away.
It just rolls.
And then in the next shot, it's back on her hip.
It's back on, yeah.
So you guys keep an eye for the rolling chakram.
Yeah, that was funny though. I mean, it doesn't like just fall flat on the ground, or it just perfectly rolls away.
Yep,
that was awesome.
I tell Liliana while we're watching them, I'm like, look, watch the scene. What is it? Well, just watch it. Watch the scene. What? And she's watching it, and I'm like, right there. And she was like, ah. And then we had a good laugh.
Yeah. So, Xena obviously defeats him, takes his army. This army's now mine. And then you have Ares popping back in. And Coryllis realizes that he's been used.
Yep.
So he's not happy about it.
And Xena, she's telling the army, she's like, hey, now on you answer to me.
Right.
And they're like, do we need to commence the attack on Losha?
Yeah.
She's like, no, we do it my way.
Right.
So they ride down to Losha, and they see Atreus
strung up.
And her second in command of this army makes the comment, oh, they left him for buzzard food.
Yeah.
Left
him out for the vultures. So,
did they say vultures?
They strung him up for the vultures. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Xena, of course,
we have Warlord.
Enraged.
We have Warlord Xena coming out. Take the village! So, because at this point, she's pretty much convinced that is her father.
Yeah.
She sees him strung up. Yeah. So she's pissed.
And then we flashed all the warriors invading the village, and Gabrielle comes out.
Yeah.
And she's like, Xena? And then she keeps telling the villagers, like, she won't hurt us.
Yeah.
One of the soldiers grabs Gabrielle. She's my best friend. And he's like, yeah. And Zeus is my uncle. And,
so Xena cuts down, Atreus. Mm-hmm. Who did this to you? Did she say that? Who did this to you?
No, she says, who did this to my father?
Who did this to my... Oh, yeah, that's right, because she's
and the village
carrying
leader's
him
like,
now.
he had it coming. And,
he only had himself to blame.
Very good, honey. And
anyways,
she kneels on the ground, and then we've got an oopsie when she's knelt on the ground.
Yeah, so if you guys notice, when she's holding him and kneeling down, if you look up at the top of the screen,
look over Xena's left shoulder,
you'll see a microphone hanging there.
Yeah.
So,
not
oopsie.
a boom mic.
No, it's just like a microphone hanging off of a...
It's hanging off a fishing line. So it blends in to an extent.
Yeah.
But not entirely.
Right. A little bit of an oopsie there.
Mm-hmm. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And then what happened? So the village leader says that he tried to escape from their guards.
Right.
And Atreus is like, he tells Xena that he's dying.
Yeah.
After she said, you're going to be all right. He's like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
They did this to me. All I wanted was to be with you.
Right. And then...
She's like, and then he appears to die.
Yeah. And then she goes all Warlord again. Kill them all!
And Gabrielle, pitches forward. No, wait! She grabs the pitchfork. So she literally pitches forward. And no, wait. Yeah. And then this is your next bit of subtext for this episode.
All right.
This is where, so if you'll think back to the episode, The Execution. When Xena snapped. Or not The Execution.
I was going to say Execution.
Yeah, The Reckoning.
Okay.
Sorry, I got mixed up.
Reckoning, okay. Yeah.
So if you think back to the episode The Reckoning. Gabrielle, this is a running theme. Gabrielle is the person that it takes to call Xena back to normal Xena.
To snap her out of the Warlord haze.
Yes. Because when Gabrielle goes up to her, Xena, gets this look on her face and she's like, Gabrielle? She's puzzled and, it snaps. You can see it snap her out of it for just a second.
Right.
And so they're like, oh, it's, her soul identified Gabrielle as her soulmate. And is what is your common theme on the subtext boards. Yeah. At least the ones that I dig and dig and dig on. And typically, like, for me, when I find more than 15 that are in the same agreement on it, that's when I'm, okay, there may be a little credibility. Then I start digging a little further into the episode, and so that's how kind of I determine what to use.
Right.
But there were about 203 people.
A little bit more than 15.
A little bit more than 15. About 203 people that were like, no, this is considered subtext because it does take Gabrielle to get Xena back to being Xena.
Yeah.
Because you see Xena, she's like, Gabrielle tells her to put down her sword. Mm-hmm. And then Xena, at this point, she's not as much warlordy, but she's like, they killed my father. And then she goes warlordy.
Yeah.
She's like, now they'll die too. Get out of my way.
Right.
Gabrielle's like, no, And she says, oh.
That she's standing up to a murderous warlord.
Like she saw her do with Draco, except
now it's her.
This time, the warlord is you.
Is you, yeah.
And then Atreus pops up, and this is one of the first places that you see Ares is taking note of the hold that Gabrielle has over Xena.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it hasn't been addressed really to an extent exactly how deep their connection is. How deep Xena and Gabrielle's connection is. So this is the first place when Ares has noticed, aside from when he's talking with Gabrielle, how deep their relationship is. Because he pops up to try and stir the pot. Because he knows that Gabrielle's winning Xena over.
Right.
And he pops up and it looks like Atreus is alive again.
Yeah.
Because at this point, we still don't know that it's Ares.
Yeah.
As the viewer.
And he's like, well, you're not going to kill them?
Mm-hmm. Where's your anger?
Where's your anger? Yeah, look what they done to me.
And Xena's like, it's over now,
Yeah.
And he says, now we kill them all. And then he tells her to fight for him.
Fight for him. And that's when she was like, fight for you. And then she realizes it's Ares. Yeah.
And then we do that cool facial morph thing.
You got the morph, yeah.
And now, like, 1996, when this episode was done. Yeah. This is the 420 episode. Uh-huh. Xena trips out. There's actually a couple of different dates for it.
Yeah.
Some sources say it was April 29th.
That it first aired.
And others said it was April 20th.
Yeah. Like the ones I saw, the ones that I looked up said April 29th. But you found the ones that said April 20th.
April 20th, and
original air date is kind of up in the air between those two.
And I told Lillian, I'm like, it's the 420 episode because Xena trips out. We're like, just a second. Yeah. But 1996, Xena really had the best in special effects for that time. So the face morph thing was huge.
Yeah.
The fact that they were able to do that without the face being overshadowed, because if you ever look at them from like back in the 80s, the faces, you can see where it's the base face, and then there's a face superimposed over it, right, and then it shrinks down to size. So the fact that they did an actual face morph, or body morph for that matter, is a freaking huge credit to their special effects team. Yeah. So that was really awesome.
Yeah. So then you have Ares giving his little speech about how, she did everything that he wanted him to.
You even gave her pesky little friend.
Right. Left your pesky little friend for me. You killed soldiers, you did this, you did that.
He's telling her, pretty much, there's still a ruthless warlord inside of you.
Yeah. So, she's pretty much, just like, give up on me, Ares. I'm never going back.
And he's like, well, I know what's in your heart.
Yeah.
Why I could play Atreus so well.
You're not my father.
Or is he?
Is he?
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And then he gives this bogus, what is a father?
Yeah.
He channels like William Shakespeare.
Oh,
yeah. Almost. Yeah. It's like, what is a father? It's kind of reminiscent of the a rose is a rose by any other name, Because he's like, a father's the guy that guides you and teaches you how to live.
Right.
I did all that.
Yeah.
Take your place with me now.
And Xena's pretty much, throws down her sword. Go ahead, kill me.
Well, he says, because he gives her the option, he says, you fight for me.
Fight for me or die.
Or die. She's like, go ahead and kill me.
Go ahead. But he doesn't.
Well, and you have Gabrielle that steps up. She's like, no.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Xena.
Don't do it.
And at that point, you're not exactly clear on what she's telling her not to do. You're not entirely sure if she's not wanting her to go back and fight for Ares, or not sure if she's not wanting her to let Ares kill her.
I think it's not wanting to let Ares kill her.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Because I'm a little fuzzy on that. Because as much as Gabrielle cares for Xena, and we really see how much Gabrielle cares for Xena in the next episode.
Yeah.
The greater good. But as much as Gabrielle cares for Xena, I honestly don't think that she would be able, at this point, to be around Xena if she was fighting for Ares.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm a little questionable because Xena tells her to stay out of it.
Yeah, but Gabrielle said, don't do it, Xena, after Xena has already said, go ahead and kill me.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, what I did.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know though. I don't know. I'm just still fuzzy. I feel like that comment is very poorly placed.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. But anyway.
Because, I mean, it's like, if she is saying it in reference, like you're saying, where it's, go ahead and kill me, don't do it, Xena.
Yeah.
Oh, so go ahead and just, fight for the bad guy. As long as you're alive, Gabrielle's cool with that. Or, fight for me. Where, like, from my perspective, fight for me, it makes more sense for Gabrielle to say, don't do it, Xena. Don't go back to the dark side.
Yeah, but Xena did say that she'd rather die than to go back.
I know. But that's why I'm saying I feel like that line's very poorly placed. I think it either doesn't need to be there, or it should have been worked a different way. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. Alrighty.
Because, I mean, and Xena knows Ares isn't going to kill her.
Yeah. He's not going to.
No. And she knows that. I think that's why she called him on the bluff.
Right.
And I'm like, go ahead. And he stops it, and he can't kill her. But, according to Kevin Smith's quote, Ares loves Xena.
But Xena loves Gabrielle.
Yep. And there's one person for Xena, and it ain't Ares.
Not Ares. Nope.
So, I think this is your starting patch of unrequited love for Ares, for Xena. And then we have his tagline. We have Ares' tagline that pops out. You do that so well. Go ahead.
The what until next time?
Until next time.
So yeah, he fades away and then you hear his voice lingering until next time. Which he did the same thing in The Reckoning.
Yes.
So,
yeah. And then we got the closing shot.
Yeah.
Which is one of the only conversational interactions that we have between Xena and Gabrielle in this, except for when they're at the pond.
Yeah.
Which is short-lived. But it's one of the only meaningful conversations between the two of them in this episode.
Yeah.
And Xena, we see her start, up until now, we've seen Xena as this tough warrior princess.
Right.
She doesn't show her emotions a whole lot,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to when your mom tells you you're not welcome in her own place to be able to,
Yeah.
when everybody that you've cared about's either left or been killed or
Right.
stabbed you in the back or something.
Yeah.
But this is where you have kind of some insight in the family angle, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Where I'd mentioned that, I feel like Gabrielle was kind of missing her dad. Mm-hmm. 'Cause you can almost see like a little faraway look in her eye when she's talking about, it must be hard growing up without a father.
Right. Yeah.
A little bit of a reflective look from Renee O'Connor on that deal. But Xena explains to her, she's like, look, I want you to understand, we have families that we're born into. Mm-hmm. Sometimes families change. And we have to build our own.
Yeah.
Which is your next hint of subtext.
Yeah.
But that's only according to 43 people. So it's a little lower than the 203.
Okay.
47. I'm sorry, not 43.
Okay.
But because we know that Xena and Gabrielle consider each other family.
Yeah.
But
But.
what's the best known way for building a family, because it was pointed out how odd it was that she used the word build. Because she could have, think of all the other words she could have used. Because typically when you're thinking about your friends are the people that you choose as your family.
Right.
Which is actually a recurring theme for a lot, like Buffy. Choosing your family is a recurring theme in most shows when it's a couple of tight-knit friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But she uses the word build.
Right.
And they're like, your most common way of building a family
is with a partner.
It's with a partner.
So yeah. And then you grow from there.
And then you grow from there. I mean, Xena and Gabrielle, one of them will get loaded fingers eventually, and there'll be babies that are like 6 foot tall and bronzed, or like bronzed and like 5'2" with maybe dark hair.
I don't
know. Or maybe they'll be blonde, and one side of them will be tall, and one side will be short.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But,
yeah.
But she does tell, on a serious note though, she tells Gabrielle that, their friendship binds them closer than blood ever could.
Right.
And so that's kind of, I look at that as a way of her comforting Gabrielle and seeing, hey, I know you missed your family.
Yeah.
But you have family here too.
Right.
It's not just you.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just how I look at it. Because Gabrielle's like, for me too.
Right.
I thought the building family was interesting when that was pointed out, because I never thought about it
neither did I. No.
I didn't think about how a subtle word choice could really affect, because you choose your partner, you choose your life mate.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, you don't choose them to make a family with,
Okay.
You build a family with them. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I can't think of in my head the way that it was explained, but I thought it was kind of cool how the play on words went. So anyway, everybody was happy.
Yeah.
We have a disclaimer for this episode.
Disclaimer.
See,
no fathers, spiritual or biological, were harmed during the production of this motion picture. Picture.
There you go.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Right?
Sure you did.
So yeah, ties that bind.
Woo!
Dun dun dun.
Da-dum. And you guys, I know that I know our podcasts are getting a little longer. They're probably going to keep getting longer. I'm sorry. They'll probably span at least over an hour. I mean, we try and dig into so much that, because we don't want to skimp on anything.
No.
And now we're digging into the meat episodes. It's not
meaty ones are coming.
It's not just your intro episodes anymore.
So yeah.
Married with Fish Sticks.
Ugh.
That podcast will probably be
10 minutes.
10 minutes long. But yeah.
What were they thinking with that one?
That's one of Rob Tappert's favorite episodes, though.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that was kind of
okay. Well, all right.
But, one of his favorites is also Liar, Liar, and I can't fault the man for that.
Well, no.
I can see that one.
We like that one. So, yeah. Next episode, Greater Good.
Yay!
I like the Greater Good.
I do, too. So, we're looking forward to that one. So, that one will probably be a year long.
Not that long, but yeah.
You don't think so?
A year? That's kind of long.
Yeah.
A year? Yes. Would you want to be listening?
585,600 minutes.
Like I said, we're just a couple of geeks.
Uh-huh. But that's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Can you dig it? Well, can you?
Okay.
Okay, good. Glad.
Alrighty.
So, next episode, Greater Good.
Yep. Don't forget to send us your guys' questions.
In which we get to see Gabrielle dressed as Xena.
Xena, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we get to see Lord Seltzer.
Samonius.
So, one of my least liked characters.
Yeah, I like Samonius.
I know you do, but I can't. He gets on my nerves.
I know.
He and Jocks are both.
I know.
Just irritate me to no end.
It's okay.
It is. I mean, but it is what it is.
Yep. So, yeah. But yeah, you guys don't forget to send us, questions so we can get those answered in of our...
Yeah, October 13th. Friday the 13th is when the podcast is going to go up and going.
Yeah. So if you got any questions, start sending them our way.
Yeah, because we're going to have to cut off probably about noon, October 11th. We were kind of crunching numbers to be able to have the podcast recorded and cut and loaded because we really want it to launch October 13th.
Right. It'll be our wrap-up of Season 1.
Our wrap-up of Season 1.
And
we'll answer any
questions.
Any listener questions, yeah.
About the show.
About the show, or, I mean, we'll answer about us. Not like anything crazy personal.
No.
You send a crazy personal question about us, I'm going to be like, and I came out of your vagina? Why do I have to tell you that? You know? But I mean crazy. I mean, like, you know, I don't mind, like, what do you do for a living or...
Right.
Or,
yeah.
You know, because that's just like bud questions. And we're like buds. We're one big XENITES family. Yay! So anyway, we'll recap Season 1 October 13th. We'll take your questions, send them to us. You can either tweet them at us, Facebook us, message us on Facebook,
whichever you
email
choose.
the Babbling Bards at writeme.com. You can go to theBabblingBards.com and hit the contact us link. Mm-hmm. If you go to theBabblingBards.com, you can do a little more than just get in touch with us. You can, there's some, like, I made a little Xena slideshow on the homepage.
It's cool. I like it.
There's even, okay, so I'll tell you guys this. There are 2 hidden pages.
Really?
There are 2 hidden pages on...
okay.
On the Babbling Bards page.
I'm like, what? Huh?
So
why don't I know this?
You should find them. There's also some fan fiction that I've written. I currently have one that I'm uploading. I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
So it's not completed yet, but it is a work in progress, so it's getting done. So if you guys want to check it out, you can do that. Liliana has her merchandise up there. We have a spot on there called Warriors Wares. It's our online store. Liliana makes these
they're custom bracelets and keychains.
Mm-hmm. She's got the ones loaded up there for Xena.
Yeah.
But any of them are...
I can make them with anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be
It doesn't
Xena.
have to be Xena, but
I do Buffy ones too.
It's completely customizable.
Whatever. I mean, I've had, I've made some for people where they want, like, family pictures on there. So, I mean, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in, like, something besides Xena, like you want to do a family montage.
Or a
pictures,
pet montage.
Or pets, yeah.
Anything like that.
So I've done those.
Video games. She made me a pretty cool Legend of Zelda one.
Yeah, I did.
I'm kind of in love. But anyhow, you guys go check that out. Contact us. Send us questions.
Yep.
And we'll enjoy it.
Yes, we will.
If you are not tech savvy and you can't figure out any of the above ways to contact us, just leave a comment on the YouTube video. I promise you we'll get it.
Right. Now the links will be, on the description section of the videos. So, yeah.
Also thinking about putting together a Twitter party. Live Twitter party. And maybe if I can talk Liliana into it, maybe a hangout. She doesn't do well with speaking to people directly. But there was an interesting thought process raised by Robin Godfrey, who watches, or who listens to every podcast that we put out. And we like that.
Yeah.
We like the support, and we appreciate the continued support a lot. But she made the suggestion that we do one for Subtext and getting, all the fan opinions together.
Right.
And I think maybe like a live stream or a hangout, something like that would be kind of cool for everybody to come on at one time and be able to talk about it. We'll, of course, record it and make sure that we've got it archived for the podcast. But anyway.
Okay.
So that's still a twinkle in our eye. We don't know that we're going to do that for sure. But something will be done like that. It may not be live. It may just be like a submissions thing.
Yeah.
But if I don't know. We're going to pitch it back and forth and see what we can do.
See. We'll let you know.
See what we can do. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
You'll hear from us.
Exactly.
We'll have our people call your people. We are our people.
Yes.
We'll call you.
We don't have their contact information.
We have their Twitters.
Okay.
And some of their Facebooks. And we have their user handles on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was an ex-cop. I can find anybody.
That's true.
Alrighty, you guys.
Okay.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting us babble at you.
Yep.
Sorry we get quieter towards the end. Boy child number 2 is home from school. They had early release today. So that kind of put a damper on it.
That's okay.
He's also the nosiest one.
Yeah.
Besides girl child number 1. Because, yeah. All up in the gravy. The middle one doesn't,
He don't care. He's just like, whatever.
Yeah. But
he's the jock.
He's the jock. A well-mannered jock. But a jock, nonetheless.
You're gonna have to beat the girls off of him.
That's okay. I have weapons.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I have many skills.
I know.
All right, you guys.
All right, then.
Till next time, happy chakrams.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Babbling Bards.
Out.
Out.